Hey guys, welcome back to part 6 of What If Naruto Was an Uchiha. This part came out earlier than normal because I did promise in the previous video that I would have it uploaded one day later, and here we are. So in the previous episode where we left off, it was the end of the Chunin exams, at least the end of the match of Gaara and Sasuke, and the Konoha crush begins. Now, in this scenario, Sasuke, he is not as rash as he normally would be. He is much different. He is much more calm. So he will, after the invasion starts, he doesn't rush after Gaara. He does wait for his friends. The Genjutsu is cast on the stadium as normal, and Naruto easily breaks out of it. Not much issues for him because he is a pretty decent Genjutsu user as well, because he was trained by some of the best Genjutsu users in the village. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there were a few sand shinobi inside the stadium as well who do go for Naruto and a few others, but Naruto easily takes him out with the help of Sasuke, and Kakashi looks at Naruto and Sasuke and he's like, you know what, I give you two a mission. Go after Gaara and try to stop him while we stop the sand shinobi who are attacking the area right now. Naruto and Sasuke of course agree, and Kakashi's like, you know what, take a few more people for your squad. You might need them. So they take Shikamaru as well. Now Naruto, Sasuke, and Shikamaru go after Gaara, the Sand Trio. The Sand Trio. Now, Naruto, Sasuke, and Shikamaru, they are pretty decent friends in this scenario. All three do hang out a lot, so they know what they should do to work together properly. They chase after the trio, and if I'm not mistaken, it was, I think, Dosu who does interrupt them. Shikamaru's like, you know what, you guys go ahead, I'll take care of this one. So he fights off with that person. The fight goes pretty similar to canon, with Asuma coming in and rescuing Shikamaru when shit gets going. Then Sasuke and Naruto are stopped by Kankuro, who looks at his siblings and is like, you guys go ahead, I'll stall these two. At this point, Shino does arrive like he does in the original canon, and he does face off with Kankuro. It does go as originally, with Kankuro getting his ass whooped. Then Naruto and Sasuke go after Temari and Gaara. Temari and Gaara, well, Temari does step in front of them and she's like, you're not going anywhere after this. I'll just have to kill both of you to finish this thing off. Naruto and Sasuke, of course, being very, very, very talented and much better than in the original, not really fazed by this. They did, however, see Temari's match against Tenten, so they kinda know what she's about. The wind user of the sand. Naruto himself is another wind user, so he's like, I think we can handle her. So Naruto looks at Sasuke and he goes, Sasuke, you go ahead after Gaara. I'll deal with Temari for a moment. Naruto versus Temari. This will actually not be that difficult when you think about what Naruto has accomplished in this scenario. But we will go for it. Now, Temari, of course, uses her, if I'm not mistaken, wind cutters or something like that. The wind jutsu, where there is a huge sheet of wind blowing towards the opponent, which slices them up. She does use that, and Naruto retaliates by creating a mud wall that he had learned from Kakashi's training with him in the past. The mud wall does manage to deflect the wind mostly, and right after that, Naruto launches about 4 shadow clones from each side to attack Temari, and he has about 10 shadow clones scattered throughout the forest around Temari just to create the classic, at this point in my what if scenario, the classic Naruto chakra seeper, which is basically a bunch of seals that are set around the area, seeping away at the opponent's chakra slowly but gradually. Now Temari kind of takes care of the shadow clones pretty easy. She just launches a massive barrage of wind on one side and launches a few kunais with the help of the Shadow Shuriken technique towards the other two, taking them down. But at this very moment, she is in fact caught in a form of genjutsu. Now this is a genjutsu that I have given Naruto's Mangekyo Sharingan. This is something original for him, as I like to think. It is somewhat like the Izunagi, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the genjutsu where until the opponent agrees with you, they are in a constant loop. Now, this is kind of like that, where the opponent is just going through this battle. They won't actually realize it's a genjutsu. It's not like when you stab your opponent, they turn into flower petals. No, this is more advanced. When you stab your opponents, they kind of burst like shadow clones would. Your opponent still feels like a actual human being, where you will actually have an actual fight. Naruto uses this genjutsu on Temari with his Mangekyo Sharingan, which does have a few extra powers, which I will reveal in a moment. But then again, if you read the comment from the previous video that was left by a great person, you will know what the powers are. Anyway, now Temari does not suspect a thing. Initially, she just goes on like a normal fight. Shadow clones are popping around her, she's fighting them, it was normal. After a few moments, she does realize something. This man, he's not tiring out. She's been fighting for, I don't know, about half an hour, and Naruto doesn't have a scratch on him. At this moment, she does use something to, try to dispel the genjutsu, which is not easy, and she does. And when she wakes up in the actual world, it's been about 2 minutes in the real world. Pretty long time when you consider anime. She is currently tied up to a tree with ninja wire, with around 5 Naruto clones around her, looking at her, seeping away her chakra, which is basically depleted at this point. She's pretty much defeated. The Naruto clones are there just so she can't necessarily escape, but they will burst in a few moments after her chakra has been depleted. Now Naruto is already off to find Sasuke. Right after he used the genjutsu on Temari, he ran off. He tied her with his shadow clones and he ran off behind Sasuke to meet Gaara. Now Sasuke has already met up with Gaara and the battle has already started. Somewhat similar to how it would normally go. Sasuke using the Chidori, which I'd say he can use it around 4 times without completely knocking himself out. Now, Sasuke rushes towards Gaara with a shadow clone that he learned from Naruto. I think it was in part 3, I'm not sure. With around 2 shadow clones of Sasuke trying to cover Gaara from 3 sides, Gaara goes from the shadow clones with, like spiked up sand, trying to take out all of the shadow clones. Sasuke, converts into a log, appears above of Gaara. Gaara does use his sand to block him. Sasuke pierces through and stabs Gaara right around the shoulder. Not fatally, but he draws some blood. Gaara is getting super pissed of this, and the Shukaku mode is getting stronger, currently covering around 70% of his body. Only his head and his right shoulder are actually visible now. After this, Gaara goes a bit rampant, and he uses the sand coffin on Sasuke, catching him in a bind, and he was almost, crushed by the sand. But Naruto does arrive to save Sasuke using a combo of a few moves. One which was the wind bomb, as I like to call it now, which is basically a compressed ball of wind, not like the Rasengan. This is just wind, no energy around it. It hits the opponent, it explodes, spreading everything around. So he uses that to spread the sand around. He uses his water spears, as I have named them, the water spear technique to pierce through the sand, wettening the sand, loosening its grip a bit. And then he just brings out his katana, let's call it the katana, which he does actually use his sword in this scenario, to, infuse it with some lightning chakra, which he has thanks to his Sharingan, and he does have somewhat of an affinity to it, so Kakashi had taught him a few small, simple lightning jutsus. So he does funnel some lightning chakra through his sword, cutting through the sand, freeing Sasuke. Now Naruto and Sasuke are facing off against Gaara, who is a bit more than pissed. He looks at Naruto and he goes, "Yes, Mother really likes you," which I have no idea why he calls Shukaku Mother, but yeah, he does. Gaara is going more and more into madness, and Shukaku's voice is growing louder inside of him. Now, Naruto and Sasuke look at each other and go, this guy's a bit of a nutcase. Naruto, however, before leaving, had already been debriefed, let's say, by Kakashi that Gaara was in fact a Jinchuriki. Naruto knows what that's like, having had a few somewhat knowable interactions with the Ninetales now. Mainly during the the Land of Waves arc, where he was surrounded by the Ninetales chakra and he could hear its voice, and the third Hokage did tell him what was up. Which I do remember I didn't actually mention, so fuck me. I am somewhat of an idiot. Anyway, Naruto kinda knows what that's like, so he's ready for Gaara. He goes in the battle. So does Sasuke. Both of them are using multiple jutsus. Naruto has not actually met Jiraiya. That is something that I overlooked. He does not have the summoning. Oh my god, I have messed up horribly. And I can't actually go back now because the tuning exams have already started and the Konoha crush is on the way. So, well, Naruto has not met Jiraiya yet. Jiraiya's in the village. He was wanting to meet Naruto. For some reason, it didn't happen. Because Naruto was actually training under Kakashi as well. Yeah. Oh my god. Anyway, Naruto does not have the summoning, so he won't fully know what to do with Shukaku. But Kurama, sensing that Shukaku is nearby, does pipe up a bit, does talk to the inner Naruto in a moment. Now, Naruto and Sasuke are going to be fighting against Gaara of the Sand pretty well. Gaara is using multiple sand techniques. He is trying to create a bit of a trap for them, loosening up the ground under them, bringing sand spikes from the ground, trying to pierce their skin, kill them, hopefully, get them in a bind, crush them with the sand, anything, just trying to get them out. Naruto and Sasuke have better reflexes on this. They are dodging everything with their Sharingans. Naruto has his Mangekyo out, which has, okay, I'm gonna state, he does have two main abilities. One, he has the Tsukuyomi in his left eye. In his right eye, as was mentioned by Super Smash Bros. 64,100. I hope I got that. The right eye has the Tsukuyomi and the left eye has something known as the Foxfire, which is basically an ability that allows him to witness any form of fire ability, may it be a Kekkei Genkai, may it be a Jutsu, and copy it, though at the cost of double the normal chakra used. Yay. Now, Naruto tries to get Gaara in a Genjutsu. He does not actually know how to use the Tsukuyomi properly, so he won't be doing that right away. He's going to be using his Izunami type Genjutsu that I mentioned earlier on Gaara, which almost works on him, but Shukaku pipes up pretty quick and he removes it and he's like, oh brat, you know some pretty powerful Genjutsu there. I'm gonna have to kill you quick. Naruto? Not really fazed by that. Naruto and Sasuke now create a plan on what to do. Naruto grabs onto Sasuke and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna move you across from here right behind Gaara so you can pierce him, injure him hopefully, using the body flicker technique, and Naruto himself will create a few shadow clones to distract him. Naruto creates 5 shadow clones with his 5 main abilities, I think. The Wind Bomb, the Water Spear, the Fireball Jutsu, the Fire Phoenix Jutsu, and a Lightning Sword on the final one, which he himself is controlling. He himself is the final one with the Lightning Sword. And there is another Shadow Clone behind him with Sasuke, who is preparing his third Chidori, which will be his second last one and will actually deplete him quite a bit. Naruto is getting ready to teleport Sasuke right behind him, which is something that he hasn't actually done, so he is hoping he can actually pull it off. Now, Naruto attacks Gaara with his 5 techniques, which are mostly long-range techniques, so he will be at a decent match against Gaara. Gaara using his sand to block and attack, Naruto using these 5 techniques to mostly just attack, not really much blocking going. He's dodging with the help of his Sharingan. Now, Naruto, while distracting Gaara, does teleport Sasuke right behind him, which actually pops the clone that was teleporting Sasuke. Sasuke is behind him. Shukaku barely noticed that, does get hit. Gaara is horribly injured now and goes into full Shukaku mode because of the temperament of the situation. Seeing his own blood kinda gets him a bit riled up. Now, Naruto and Sasuke both see that and they're like, okay, we're fucked. What do they do? Sasuke is very tired, he probably won't be able to use anything else. So Naruto is trying to devise something to attack this man with. It is at this very moment that I'm gonna say Jiraiya notices a gigantic sand monster outside the current Konoha Crush shit that is happening. Because I did not I actually kind of forgot to make sure that Naruto and Jiraiya meet. Jiraiya, he wanted to meet Naruto, but he got held up with some meetings here and there, some debriefings, and some research. He does witness that he was actually spectating the Chunin exams, but the Konoha Crush happened. He did have to take out a few Sand Shinobi here and there. Did notice that his sensei was being taken away, did leave a shadow clone to chase after them, and the other one was slowly, fighting off a few shinobi coming towards Naruto and Sasuke. Naruto is kind of out of his league, almost. He doesn't want to use the Kurama chakra. Kurama does see that and he does pipe up. He's like, Brat, I would suggest you take my help. If you don't, Shukaku will most likely kill you. Naruto, having not really conversed with Kurama, only knowing of his existence, is like, who the fuck are you? Kurama's like, I am the nine-tailed fox Kurama, and I'm here. I've been inside of you for the past, who knows how many years, I actually forgot, I think it's 13. And Naruto proceeds to have a bit of a conversation with Kurama, where Kurama agrees to not take over Naruto, but Naruto does get around a bit of a red cloak around him. Kurama's not helping him, no, he just does not want to get killed by fucking Shukaku of all people. And Naruto is not as gullible to let him have full control. Naruto feels that he probably would lose control if he goes a bit too overboard trusting Kurama, so he only uses a bit of his chakra and proceeds to attack my dear Shukaku, who is actually not really fazed by this. A few of Shukaku's attack do just, barely affect Naruto. However, Naruto's fighting is taking a toll on Naruto quite a bit. It is at this moment that, Jiraiya arrives to the battlefield with Gamabunta on his back. The battle with Gamabunta and Shukaku, pretty similar, except with Jiraiya, so even better. He whoops the ass of Great Gaara. Naruto, he was fighting actually on top of Gamabunta alongside Jiraiya. While Jiraiya was attacking, Naruto was running along Gamabunta's arms to try to take down dear Shukaku with the help of some of his jutsus. And eventually Jiraiya just yells at Naruto to hit Gaara so he would wake up. Jiraiya creates an opening, Naruto attacks Gaara, waking him up. Naruto is actually pretty depleted, so he falls on the ground. Gaara falls on the ground. They have the same heartfelt conversation. Temari, eventually, with the help of a pretty badly beaten Kankuro, Temari and Kankuro, both of them are pretty knocked out at this point, do arrive there to pick up Gaara, and they do leave, ending the Konoha Crush and introducing Jiraiya to Naruto, which I should have done quite a while ago, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. But hey, look at that! Part 6 of What If Naruto Was an Uchiha is complete. What happens now? Sasuke knows more about this whole chakra situation that's going around Naruto. He saw a gigantic red cloak cover Naruto, so something's up. Jiraiya is also introduced, so Naruto's like, who is this? The third Hokage. I didn't mention him throughout this fight. Right. The battle with Orochimaru and the third Hokage with Jiraiya's clone. Jiraiya manages to dispel the barrier seal that was put on there by the Saiyan 4. Orochimaru and the third Hokage's battle, however, was actually entering its climax. But with Jiraiya coming in before before the third Hokage had to completely use the Reaper Death Seal, the first and second Hokage are actually dealt with somewhat easily, with the third Hokage having quite a bit of energy left. He actually manages to seal off quite a bit of Orochimaru with the help of Jiraiya. Orochimaru's soul has been captured in the Reaper Death Seal. But then again, we have known that there is a way to dispel that, so he's not gone forever. No, he'll be back. Sometime later on, but he'll be back. Jiraiya's clone disappears. The third Hokage does die. You know, mentioning to Jiraiya that whole little inner monologue that he had, the future generation, all that jazz. Pretty sad, I know. The village mourns his death. That's the end of the Konoha Crush arc. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully 2 days, I guess.